Welcome to Red Zone to End Zone. This will be the first video of many we will be releasing weekly videos in response to the previous week of football and debate and predict the following week of action.
In this preseason video special, we will be covering our predictions to the awards of the season, our Super Bowl predictions, and even our teams to watch this year. So for my team to watch, I have the Dallas Cowboys. I think this is a team that, even though they went 10-6 last year, I think they can go 12-4 this year and reach the conference championship. They went 7-2 after acquiring Amari Cooper last year. That made a huge impact as it also opened up the run game more with a stronger offensive line than the previous year. And with Ezekiel Elliott, who will continue to amount to at least 1,000 rushing yards this season.
My team to watch personally is the Cleveland Browns. What makes them a team to watch is that they finally had the pieces in place to at least make it to playoffs next year, if not further. The key players to watch are Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Myles Garrett, David Njoku, and Kareem Hunt. Considering in 2017 that they went 0-16 and they've massively improved last year, it is easy to say that they were definitely do a lot better this year with the key pieces. Baker Mayfield threw for 27 touchdowns, breaking the rookie touchdown record. Nick Chubb had 8 touchdowns, and Carlos Hyde had 5. It shows that they already have a great running back core. And now with the addition of Kareem Hunt, it's going to be even better. The firing of Coach Hugh sets a new mentality in Cleveland, and I think they're ready to win this one. My Super Bowl prediction personally is the Saints versus the Patriots. I predict this because the Saints have a very good overall offense and a very good defense. Along with key players on every position, this team could go very far. The Patriots, they always have the magic and the fight in them to make it to the Super Bowl. You could have every player in the Patriots injured, and they'd still make it. Somehow, we don't know. Just happens. I could see either team winning this one, honestly. But I think personally that the Patriots will probably end up winning, just because they will find a way to do it because of Tom Brady, because everybody else on their team, they just find a way to do it.
All right, and then for my Super Bowl prediction, I have the Saints versus the Colts. I have the Saints for the same reason mentioned that Peter just had. However, for the Colts, they're a young team which is just getting stronger and stronger every season. Malik Hooker as that safety, he's just been dominating wide receivers each and every year since he started in the league. Darius Leonard he had the highest tackles last year. I see him easily repeating that this year. You got Andrew Luck, Marlon Mack, and Eric Ebron being that centerpiece of that offense right there. There's not much that has been able to stop it. And then T.Y. Hilton also on that outside, another receiving threat. If he can stay healthy, he's always going to be a threat for that team. But I see the Saints winning it this year. They were robbed of it last year. And I think that's just going to push them even farther this year. And then also playing the Colts in a Super Bowl matchup of about a decade ago, I think. Still Sean Payton at the helm of that team. He knows how to motivate his players by bringing in that Lombardi trophy last year and that $100,000 bonus that he offered his players. He just knows how to do it right, and in that, he's just a good coach in that way. Going into my regular season awards, for MVP, I have Andrew Luck. I feel like he's just going to have another great season, great leader on that Colts team. For the Defensive Player of the Year, I have Jalen Ramsey. I know a lot of people don't like him. He's a strong opinion player who talks a lot of smack, but at the end of the day, he's going to lead the league in interceptions, I believe, and that's just going to propel him and the Jaguars this season. For the Offensive Rookie of the Year, Kyler Murray, I feel that one's pretty obvious for a lot of people in this year. He's going to be taking over the Cardinals' offense. He has Larry Fitzgerald still. For the Defensive Rookie of the Year, I have Nick Bosa, coming into that 49ers defensive line. I feel like that impact's going to be felt immediately. And then for the Coach of the Year, I have Sean Payton, obviously, as I said earlier, great coach, with a great talent around him, one of the better defensive lines in this league. Plus, that offense is just on all wheels clicking.
Personally, for my awards, I believe that Tom Brady will win MVP this year. And the only reason why I really think I say that is because, like I said earlier in my Super Bowl prediction, he finds the will to get it done. So whether that's having a player injured and still making it to the Super Bowl or playoffs, that's just something I feel like he won't be down if a player is injured. He'll still make it. For my Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to have to probably say Khalil Mack on this one, just because the Chicago Bears overall have a great defense in general, and I think even him being as good as he was last year, he's always going to improve because he hasn't hit his prime yet, obviously. So I think he could always improve there. And then the Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to say Kyler Murray. Like you said earlier, with Larry Fitzgerald, he already has a great wide receiver there. That shouldn't be an issue for him. For defensive rookie of the year, I'm probably going to have to say Nick Bosa, like you said. Just with the 49ers defense, him coming in, you said, obviously a great impact to them. And that's why I think he'll win that. And coach of the year will probably be Adam Gase because he used to coach in Miami and they weren't very good, obviously. And then he moved to the Jets, and now he has like all the key players: Le'Veon Bell, Sam Darnold, everybody like that on defense and the offense. And I think they could probably make a run for it this year, as well as the Saints, the Patriots, the Chargers, the Rams, all the other teams that could make it into playoffs this year. Okay, now we're going to turn it over to Jacob and Josh with their predictions.
Hi, I'm Jacob.
I'm Josh, and this is Red Zone to End Zone.
Yes.
So, my team to watch is the Green Bay Packers. And so, my reason for this is we went, 9-6-1 last year. But, hey, we got a new coach in Matt LaFleur. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be hobbled all year. He's going to be back to being one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's going to have access to his back foot again. So, and we also, have an improved wide receiver room. We've also extensively improved our defense. We drafted Darnell Savage. We drafted Rashawn Gary, who people think isn't good because he doesn't have sacks. Man. But they think Aaron Donald is the greatest of all time. He has all these pressures. So, we also, have an improvement in the secondary in Jair Alexander. We'll have Kevin King back from injury. Josh Jackson.
Got the two Smiths too, right?
Should be improving. Yeah, we got the two Smiths, Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith on the edge. We have, Dean Lowry signed to an extension.
Yeah. He's got short arms, though.
Yeah. Tyler Lancaster came out of nowhere last year, but performed pretty well. We're bringing back Kenny Clark, one of the best interior defenders in the league. So, on to you, Jacob.
Yeah. My team to watch is the Jets, because with me, this team really reminds me of, like, the Rams and the Bears and what they did. So the Rams, you look at them, they were 4-12 with Jared Goff. They had Jeff Fisher at head coach. And then Jared Goff goes into his second year with Sean McVay, and they explode onto the scene because they get Aaron Donald improving, Jared Goff improving, Todd Gurley, he becomes like one of the best offensive players. And they get a lot of good signings too. Like they got Robert Woods, they got Brandon Cooks in a trade. They really put pieces around Jared Goff and then improved that defense too with Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib. And then the Bears, obviously they traded for Khalil Mack. They got Matt Nagy, who won Coach of the Year last year, and Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel. They just put all those weapons around that quarterback. And then that's what the Jets did this year. So they get rid of Todd Bowles. They bring in Adam Gase, who didn't do very well with the Dolphins. But like now that he's coming over to the Jets, he's got more talent there. I hate to say that, but yeah. He's got more talent because Sam Darnold is going to, I think, come into his own. He's going to get a lot better, especially now that he has Le'Veon Bell. And he'll have options to throw to in Robbie Anderson, Quincy Enunwa. Chris Herndon, I think it's underrated.
Yes.
And they also signed Jamison Crowder. So we'll see how they do with that. And then they also got C.J. Mosley on defense. I really have high expectations of Jamal Adams, and he's one of my favorite players to watch, and I just think he's awesome, and he's great. He's a great leader, too. And then you draft Quinnen Williams. You still have Leonard Williams. Like, that defense is really good, and this team, to me, is just really similar to those Bears and those Rams team. And I think they can, like, shock the world this year and, like, maybe take down the Patriots or come close to it. And I can definitely see this team making the playoffs, at least. All right, so then my Super Bowl prediction – I got out of the AFC, obviously I think the Chiefs and the Patriots will be up there, but I think the Chargers will emerge out of that conference just because Phillip Rivers and that offense I think is just going to take it to a whole new level. And then that defense too, you still have one of the best defenses with Joey Bosa. You got Derwin James, and I think Phillip Rivers, like he can be like one of the best players in the league this year. Anthony Lynn's a great coach. I really think that they'll come out of the AFC this year, and they almost did it last year too. And then out of the NFC, I think it's going to come down to the Saints and the Falcons. Whoever wins that division is only going to have to win 2 games at home. I think whoever wins that division is going to have home field advantage. And I think that's going to end up being the Saints just over the Falcons, just because Drew Brees He had a great year last year. He's going to have a great year this year. I think it's the best big three in the league. With him, Kamara, Michael Thomas, it's kind of unstoppable, to say the least. And then on defense, Cam Jordan's really underrated. He's one of the best defensive players there is. And then Marshawn Lattimore, too, one of the best young guys around, playing corner for him. Like, he can be a shutdown guy on the outside. And then who do I think is going to win that matchup? I got the Saints. Just because I think Drew Brees has been in that spot before. Phillip Rivers has been in that spot before. But Phillip Rivers has failed most of those times. And Drew Brees has been a Super Bowl champ before. He's been unlucky at times, but I would put my faith in Drew Brees over Phillip Rivers. And I would also put my faith in that Saints defense just over the Chargers defense. So that's why I'd have like the Saints just coming out with that win.
My super prediction is the Colts versus the Saints. And AFC Championship matchup, we're going to have the Colts versus the Patriots. And I think the Colts are going to win this because they have an improved defense. They've got Darius Leonard, Malik Hooker. They drafted Rocky Sin, who should be a pretty good cornerback option. And they've got Jabal Sheard off the edge. And on offense, they have Quentin Nelson, obviously, to hold down that O-line with Ryan Kelly there as well. One of the better centers in the league, but very injury-prone. They got a nice running back room with Marlon Mack and Wilkins, who's a nice pass-catching back. Andrew Luck is at quarterback. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. We saw that last year, leading the Colts all the way to the playoffs. And also their wide receivers. They got, T.Y. Hilton, one of the best wide receivers in the league, underrated. He can stretch the field. He's a great route runner. They signed Devin Funchess to be the big body guy. They also drafted Paris Campbell, who's got wheels while also being 6 foot and is one of the best run after the catch guys. So on the other side of the matchup, the Saints, they obviously have Drew Brees at quarterback, all-time great, still top of the league over there. They also have Alvin Kamara in the backfield. They also have Michael Thomas at wide receiver. So great big three there, as Jacob said.
Yeah.
They also have an offensive line led by Tron Armstead and Ryan Ramczyk as the 2 tackles, one of the better tackle duos in the league. On defense, they got Cam Jordan, underrated, one of the best in the league down there. They also have Sheldon Rankins. And then in the secondary, they got Marshawn Lattimore. They also have Marcus Davenport. And they got him in a trade with the Packers. But he's looking pretty good. So, on to the awards.
Yeah. Should I go first or you?
Oh, I forgot to mention we should win the Super Bowl. I'd pick the Saints here. They got the better defense, slightly better offense.
We both have the Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty good. I've said that a lot, haven't I?
Yeah, so awards here. So MVP, I'm going to go with Pat Mahomes to repeat here. He's one of the better, probably the best offensive system in the league. He's got one of the best play callers. And Andy Reid. They also have a lot of weapons. Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce. They lost Kareem Hunt, but running backs can be easily replaced. There's 5th-round guys that can get similar production to top of the line running backs. So they have that. They have a solid offensive line with Mitchell Schwartz at right tackle, the rock of their own line. Offense rookie of the year, I'm going to pick Kyler Murray here. He's got Cliff Kingsbury at coach. He's got Larry Fitzgerald, David Johnson. So good offensive weapons around him. So defense rookie of the year, Quinnen Williams of the Jets. He's with Leonard Williams, so it's the Williams duo there. One of the better defenses in the league with the Jets. My defensive player of the year is Aaron Donald. Pretty obvious choice here. He's just a monster. He's going to have 100 pressures again, have the biggest impact out of all the defensive players. Lead that Rams defense. So my coach of the year is going to be Matt LaFleur with the Packers. They're my team to watch, and I think they're going to make a big improvement, go about 10-6. I won't bet on them to win the division, but they're there.
All right, so for my MVP, I said I have them making the Super Bowl. The Chargers, they're going to be led by Rivers. He started every single game since 2006, and he's always been one of the best players in the league, and he really got the respect he deserved this year because of how far the Chargers got, and I think they'll go even farther next year, and he'll finally get the recognition of winning MVP, and he'll get to be in that spotlight for the first time really in his career because he finally has the surroundings around him. And then shifting over to Defensive Player of the Year, I said it earlier, I love Jamal Adams. I think he's a great player. I think he's a great character. I think he's a great person. And I think he's just going to dominate on defense. He's just going to lead the Jets and possibly win that division for him. I really think he's going to be the leader of that team, and he's going to be in that spotlight as well. And he can really take over games. And then Offensive Rookie of the Year, we're doing the clean sweep on Kyler Murray. Like, I really think he's going to come into the NFL and he's going to shock a lot of people. He might not have, like, a great year, maybe not as good as, like, Baker Mayfield, but I think it'll still definitely be good enough to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year, like Josh said, Quinnen Williams. Like, he's going to be a plug-and-play. He's going to get snaps right away, and he's going to make an impact right away for the Jets on that defense, and he'll be a really good force on that defensive line. And then lastly, Coach of the Year. I think it's going to be Adam Gase, because if the Jets really do come out and they challenge the Patriots and they go from 4-12, shooting up the standings, making the playoffs, I really think Adam Gase has to be in consideration for that award, like, of how he could really turn over that offense and turn it into something special for New York this year. So this is Jacob and Josh saying goodbye from our first episode of Red Zone to End Zone. Yeah. We hope you enjoyed it. We're going to keep coming at you. We're going to be doing this a lot. We're going to be releasing videos, releasing our predictions. You may even see more people on this set. Who knows? Yeah, we'll get to you guys soon, and let us know what you think. Let us know what content you want in our next videos. What are your thoughts on this video?